So here we are. Our tip today is all about loving your brain. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've had a bit of a love-hate relationship with my brain. So of course I love my brain because of course my brain helps me breathe and think and achieve things and love and all kinds of things. So of course I love my brain, but there are times when I've actually literally hated my brain. Times that it wakes me up at night, sort of rethinking or replaying situations that I could have handled better, or playing worst case scenarios in my head, or basically recreates experiences of the past so that like my entire body fills with either adrenaline or just pain, guilt, shame, whatever, the talk tracks that sort of get in our head. And then I really hated my brain. And I've tried a lot of different things over the years at different periods of my life. Meditation, a lot of people get benefit from. I've tried it and I haven't plunged myself really fully into it. So that's not as easy for me. I've tried also just sort of changing the channel and trying to tell myself things and trying to repeat things in sort of a little bit of a mantra form. I remember this one time I was so stressed at work and I just used to start to say like, I am not my job, and trying to breathe deeply. Anyway, all of this sort of contrarial position with my brain really didn't get me very far. And so today what I wanted to touch base with you on our weekly Happy Monday tip is what I found helpful is to think about my brain in sort of three different sections and to love each of the three sections of my brain for different reasons. So the three sections of my brain, as I sort of dumb down what is very, very complex science, if you'll bear with me, the reptilian brain, the mammalian brain, and the cerebral cortex. So just talk about those three. So what I'd like to invite you to do is just put your hand on the back of your neck. And if you can, and if you can't, you can watch me. At the very, very back of your skull sits, if you can imagine a little circle, the reptilian brain, and around it, surrounding it, a little bit bigger, the mammalian brain. And these two brains are super, super old. I think, 2 million years old or something. So they've been with us for a long time. Reptiles have the reptilian brain, mammals have the mammalian brain, and we have both. And super important, the reptilian brain is most of your senses, and the mammalian brain is most of your emotions and a lot of your hormonal control. And so those brains are responsible for helping us in terms of going about our day, and super important. But the magical part of our brain is the cerebral cortex. So just put your hand on the top of your head for a second. And I like to put mine almost like on my forehead and at the tip of my head, to sort of really be like, hi, cerebral cortex. Okay, so let me explain. The cerebral cortex it's bigger, and it can actually tell the mammalian brain and the reptilian brain what to do. And it also speaks most clearly in visions, in pictures. So what's really, really magical about the cerebral cortex is that, we can create movies all the time in our brain, and we can communicate with that part of our brain really, really effectively with pictures in our mind. And when we create a really, really vivid picture in the cerebral cortex, it basically tells the mammalian brain and the reptilian brain how to feel. And it really transposes that feeling into our bodies. So what we're going to do today as our little Monday morning pick-me-up tip is we're going to just take a second and say hello to the different parts of our brain. So I just want you to try and feel your reptilian brain, be like, hi. And your reptilian brain, it's super important, and we'll sort of say hi. And then we'll say hi to our mammalian brain, see if you can feel it. And it's sitting there trying to figure out, is she crazy? She's kind of emotional. Is this worth my time? Those kinds of questions. So we'll say hi to that brain. And then I want you to just take a second, and if you can, just look up wherever you are, and try and feel yourself accessing the cerebral cortex. And I just want you to think about one meeting or event or presentation or anything this week that is making you nervous. So I'm going to think about a particular meeting. So this meeting I'm thinking about, I'm pretty stressed about, right? So I can sort of immediately sort of feel my body as I think about this meeting, almost build scenarios and almost build physical reactions. So I'll just stay quiet for a second, see if you can do that and picture that meeting that you're nervous about. Okay, so now that we have this meeting that we're nervous about, I just want to show you in really 30 seconds the power of your visualization. And all I want you to do is take a picture of that meeting, create a movie in your mind of that meeting. And all I want you to do is picture yourself exhibiting physically, so I want you to see your physical positioning, doing awesome. So all I want you to do is just think, look, I look relaxed, I look confident, whatever confident looks like to you. I look happy, I look like I'm enjoying myself, whatever those things are to you, just an image of you in that situation doing awesome. And then all I want you to do as you do that is feel the power of your cerebral cortex telling your mammalian brain and your reptilian brain how it's going to be awesome. And the calmness that your cerebral cortex can impose on these two brains. And that's it. And that's it. And it's magic. And you can do it many times before leading up to the meeting. You can do it just before the meeting. And it just puts you, in an amazing state. So this is my Love Your Brain episode, Love Your Cerebral Cortex episode. Try it this week. Let me know how it works. Comment or visit my website to send me a note on how it worked for you. And I hope you have a fantastic week. Thanks.